Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Are you going through problems at home to the point that maybe you say your struggle, your fight, your problem begin from the door of your house inside? Then how can faith help you change the situation around? Well, it can. If you will pay attention to the story of Michael, you are going to see how faith is a very effective tool when it comes to family problems and love life issues. Just see how it helped him, and it will help you too.
Basically, before I was really empty, had a lot of emptiness, and it all started because my mum and dad had arguments a lot, so they were fighting a lot. And me seeing at a young age, I had a strong anger towards my dad because I used to see her and my mum a lot. So I had a grudge against him, and I used to show it in different ways by later on in life by trying to get girls' attention. I was separated from my family. I was trying to just be different, like just trying to express it because I knew I couldn't express it through crying because I knew that was wrong. So that was my way of expressing it. So the worst moment in my life was basically when I almost got stabbed, and it's not just the fact that I almost got stabbed, it's because of the people that I was around. I was around girls because my aim was to get girls. I wanted to be popular, I wanted to be known, and I had my friends around. So when I almost got stabbed, all my friends left, the girls that I was with left, and it showed me like, whoa, I'm really by myself and nobody's there to help me. So in that moment, it was the worst because like I felt lonely, I felt proper lonely, and in that moment my life started to flash like through my eyes, through my mind. I remember my mom, I remember literally everyone, and that's how it was. So it changed because my friend invited me from school to a Christian youth group, and we used to do a lot of dancing, but afterwards we used to have a message, and that used to like hit home. Like it made me think about my life. It made me to like actually wonder, where am I going? So from that, I used to listen to it, and not just listen to it, I used to put into practice. Little by little, I was asking questions, I was opening up, and because I really wanted to move forward. And slowly, I started to let go of the friends that I had. I had strength through the messages. I had strength to listen to my mum, to forgive my dad. And that's how this change started to happen from hearing the message from the Christian youth group. I have peace. That's one thing that I can say that I have, but that I didn't have, is real peace. It's not, I don't need anyone to give it to me. I don't need to dance, because that's how I used to show peace. I don't need to dance to have peace or happiness. I don't need to do something. It's inside. I'm a different person now. My family sees it. I'm cool with my dad. Me and my dad are really together. I don't have the grudge against him. My family's together now. My brothers, I'm working. I'm in university, so things are moving forward, and the truth is, it's only going to get better.
So in the same way that you could see faith helping Michael out of this very difficult situation, it can help you too. And you may ask, but how, Edward? How can faith help me? Well, first of all, faith is not something, at least the faith we present in Finding Answers, is not something connected to religion. It's not a man-made thing. It's a gift. It's a spiritual gift from God. Because even though we only see the physical part, you don't see your soul, which is the emotional side of you. You don't see your spirit, which is the intelligent and rational part of you. You don't see thoughts. You don't see them. You may see the actions that are led by thoughts, but we don't see the thoughts. But we see the body. However, we are this trinity. We have the physical, we have the emotional, which is the soul, and we have the rational or intellect, which is the spirit. When there is an imbalance, there are issues. And a lot of issues come from the emotional imbalance. When there is an emotional issue, it usually has an impact in the spirit and also the physical. There's actually people who get physically sick and unwell because of not being able to deal properly with the emotional. It creates apathy, anger, depression. It can lead either to more serious things such as suicide. So the topic for tonight, it's something extremely strong and usually something that people don't talk about that much. But if you watch this video that will explain about what we're speaking about tonight in Finding Answers, it gives you a pretty good introduction. It can be an issue that is affecting even you or someone you are close to. And we are here to show you how faith can also help you overcome. Let's watch the video that talks about tonight's topic.
Why do we hold grudges when they are in fact quite painful to maintain and often seem to work against what we really want? Why do we keep wounds open and active, living in past experiences of pain that prevent new experiences from being able to happen? What keeps us stuck when we want to move on and let go? And most importantly, how can we let go of grudges? Acknowledge the problem. Figure out what it is that's causing you to hold on to a grudge. You have to know what the problem is in order to solve it. When you allow yourself to see the real issue, you can then make a choice to move forward from there. Accept what is. Choose to create your own healing with or without an apology. Don't wait for the person you are upset with to come around. For all you know, they are already past the issue and not putting as much thought into it as you are. Forgive. Of course, forgiving doesn't mean you will forget the issue. It's just acknowledging your differences and accepting that no one is perfect and we all make mistakes we should learn from. Forgiving isn't the easiest thing to do, especially when you've endured a lot of hurt and pain, but it's the only way to truly let go and have peace.
So, grudges or holding grudges, something, as I was saying before, not very well spoken about, here, probably many TV programs speaking about it, but something unfortunately not uncommon to find in our society today. So we have Lisa with us this evening. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening.
So your opinion about tonight's topic, we're speaking about grudges.
Well, I think you are right. Firstly, it is not spoken enough about, and it is something that we all endure within our lives. We've all had it happen. Someone wronged us and we hold a grudge. Although it hurts when people wrong us, holding a grudge hurts our health even more. And science has actually shown that this is the case. When stressful stuff happens, our bodies respond by producing hormonal changes. And one of these hormones that our bodies produce more of under stress or pressure is something called cortisol. Now, cortisol is great, for example, if you need to run away from danger or a fight or flight mode, or if you feel that you're being threatened. But when cortisol is chronically elevated, there is trouble. It's trouble such as if you're holding on to something negative within your life, it actually can affect your body. Mm-hmm. It increases blood pressure, raises blood sugar and increases fats in the blood. It interferes with digestion and changes our breathing patterns. And research backs up that holding a grudge raises cortisol levels chronically. So it turns out that as long as you stay angry at someone who has wronged you, you will actually be increasing the risk of developing diseases. And I think also on a spiritual level, and even for yourself personally, you're only hurting yourself. Mm-hmm. However, the only one, as the voiceover did suggest, the way to get over this is through forgiveness, moving on and accepting your position in life.
Yeah, a lot of people think that if they forgive, they're going to be, it's like, I'm letting someone get away with it. But God in His wisdom, once again, I agree with this wisdom. When He speaks about forgiveness, He tells us, forgive and you will be forgiven. It's because forgiveness is good for us. Of course, no one is supposed to be gullible and oblivious and just allow, to be taken advantage of. However, every time we forgive, if we're doing good to someone, evidently we are doing much more good to ourselves because we're not holding on to all this negativity and being susceptible to the negative effects.
Exactly, and I think a lot of people do think that holding on to grudges puts you in a weaker position, but that's not the case at all. I think sometimes it takes a bigger person to move forward, accept things and acknowledge things as they are, and they turn out to be the bigger person. If you let go of something, if you're not holding on to anything, you're actually the winner in the situation. Mm-hmm. You don't have to carry that burden in you and within you for your life. I mean, if the other person isn't willing to move on, that's their own problem. But you're helping yourself by moving forward. And you never know what the other person is thinking. They may have moved on and you're still holding the grudge, and you're having that negative energy within your own life while the other person is moving on.
Yeah.
So I think you never know.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with that. And if you struggle with forgiving, if it's difficult for you, you know you should do it, you want to do it, but for some reason you can't. It's always there. How can you forgive? How can faith help you do that? Well, we have the answer. We have the answer to that. In the next segment, we're going to speak briefly about this. It's very simple, but effective if you just follow the steps we're going to talk about. But it's going to be in a few minutes. Before we go to the break, Lisa, those who want to call us, right, if they have a hard time forgiving, if they want to find out more on forgiveness and how to get rid of grudges, or if they just want to talk to us, what can they do?
Yes, if you do want to ring us, you can call 020-768-66300. That's 020-768-66300. You can also email us for a prayer request if you wish. If you want to know how to forgive within your own life, to release some grudges, it's help@findinganswers.tv. We're also available on social media if you'd prefer to talk to us on that format. So you can send us a private request through Facebook. If you search for Finding Answers, we're also on Instagram, so please do follow us and like our posts. And we're also on Twitter if you search for @FindingAnswersTV. So please do not hesitate in contacting us tonight.
Did you mention YouTube?
Yes, we do have daily episodes of YouTube uploaded every couple of days, dealing with all sorts of problems. So yes, you can also catch up on recent episodes as well.
So very good. Do not go anywhere. 3 steps to forgiveness. 3 practical ones. We're going to be talking about this when we come back, right after this break.
Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort and homework from you.
Make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
My Channel TV, featuring a kaleidoscopic daily dose of programming. Stay with us every day and explore politics, economics, science, technology, lifestyle, culture, sports, and much more. We're here to amuse you, to keep you updated, and to keep you company. We're My Channel, your channel on Sky 203.
Welcome back to Finding Answers, and tonight we're speaking about grudges and how to get rid of this negative feeling. I was saying that we would give you 3 tips, practical tips on how to forgive if it's a struggle for you to forgive. Number 1 is decision. You have to decide. You cannot wait for your feelings to just play along and, well, I don't feel like forgiving. You're not going to feel your way to it. You just have to decide. You have to understand it's good for me if I forgive. It's bad for me if I don't. It can make me sick, will affect my health, will affect my mood. It's so complicated. I have to be reminding myself that I am angry at this person, that I don't talk to this person. So you decide, okay, I'll do it. Once you decide to do it, then you go to the next step. You pray. But what kind of prayer is that? It's a prayer where you say to God, you declare this to God. You say, God, I decide, even though my heart is telling me not to do it. My heart is telling me that I shouldn't. But my mind is now overriding the emotional side and telling me to forgive. So, God, I forgive. I forgive so-and-so and so-and-so. When you mention the names, whether they are dead or alive, doesn't matter. I forgive. And your emotions will be saying, no, 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 no. You didn't forgive. No, you're still angry. This and that. We have no control over that. But from the moment that you prayed and you said, I forgive so-and-so, it doesn't matter what emotions are telling you. You have forgiven. That's it. Period. And if you want to do even better, then you say, and I ask you to bless. You ask God to bless that person or those people that you are forgiving. That's right. You say, the same way, God, that I ask you to bless me, bless them too. In that moment, your heart will shout, will scream, don't do it. But you decide, you pray. And then, by the time you say amen, you finish. That doesn't have to be a long prayer. It's a couple seconds. That's it. Case closed. You have forgiven. The third step is be callous to whatever negative emotion may come when you think about that person. When you remember, maybe there is anger, there's the emotional side of it may feel even a revulsion to think of what was done, but try to dissociate the person from the act. Hate what was done. Do not hate the person. If you see that it really affects you, it's so bad that you can even think about it without taking some kind of negative action, then for a while, put a distance, maybe distance yourself from this, just switch your thoughts, your mind go somewhere else. Don't think about it. Don't let your mind sit on that. Don't let your mind dwell on the thoughts about that person. So there you go. It's 3 different steps. Once again, you decide, then you pray, you tell God that you forgive, you ask God to bless that person. Number 3, you do not dwell on what was done. You separate, you dissociate the person from the act. That, I believe, will help you, will put you in the right track. We're going to speak now to our live guest. We have a live guest here on the show who used to hold a grudge against her own parents, but she was able to overcome. Let's see what happened and how she overcame.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Well, now I am here with Sandy. Good evening.
Good evening.
And thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about the issue, Sandy. What led you to hold a grudge against your own parents?
Well, life was pretty good from a very small age, and then by the age of 5, my mum left me because originally I was born in Jamaica. She left me and came to this country for a better life, but obviously I didn't understand why she left me. And at that moment, I was living with my nan. My dad was never really around, but when he was around, he used to say that I wasn't his child, I belonged to someone else's child, I was ugly. And growing up in that way, in that form, my mom wasn't around, she was in another country. My dad was around, but he was, rejecting me. He was despising me, saying I wasn't his. My own dad said I was ugly. So growing up, I felt rejected, I felt alone, I felt that I wasn't loved, I felt like I was just born out of the sake of being born and I wasn't needed on this earth. So I had a grudge against my parents in terms of I never thought they loved me, I never thought they cared about me. I thought I was a mistake and everything like that. And I thought they never wanted me, hence why they wasn't around me, they wasn't living with me, why they didn't be, so I felt like that. Even though evidently the issue wasn't with you, because for your father to say such a thing, evidently there was an issue there with him. Yes, right? Definitely. It's not normal that a father would say that to his own child. Do you have siblings? I have an older brother. Yes, and did he go through the same kind of treatment, or did you see a difference? With my older brother, what my dad used to do, because with him, my dad had a lot of issues with himself, and he used to just get drunk, and I would see him on various occasions just beating up my older brother, batting him in the road, on the street, in front of everyone. So seeing all of that, the grudges even grew more within myself as well, because I was thinking, okay, you're not even a good dad to us, and secondly, you're literally beating my brother in front of me. I remember being so young and seeing my brother on the street being beaten up by my dad, and I even cried going to him to stop, and he shoved me away, and all of that stuff built up the grudge inside of me. And I thought, I didn't respect him. I didn't look at him as a father. I didn't look at him as someone that I needed to honor. I looked at him as someone that was just there to ruin my life, really. That's how I felt. Do you know why he was treating you this way? At that moment, being young, I never knew the reason why. I thought he just didn't want to have kids. I thought he hated us. I thought he didn't want us. So that's was my initial impression. So you grew up in this situation. Yes. And did you? Was it something that you just kept inside, or did you express this anger? I kept it inside, but I expressed it in a way that it was weird the way I expressed it, in terms of I just used to just give myself to boys. Even though I saw my dad around, the only male figure in my life that was meant to be the person that I was meant to look up to was someone that I despised. I saw that I wanted to get attention from guys outside, because I never had that attention from my dad. So the way I was dealing with the grudge I had inside was trying to fill that void within me that my dad wasn't able to fill with other male. So I just used to mess about with boys from a very young age, you know, doing different things that wasn't right in terms of, you know, at the age I was. And I thought, okay, seeing as I didn't get attention from my dad, I'll find and seek attention somewhere else from males. Was it from mostly older men or just younger? What were you looking for? Were you looking for a father figure in someone else, or you're just trying to hurt your dad? What you're trying to accomplish with that? It was a mixture, really. I was looking for love, because I never felt that I was loved. So when I did get attention from guys, it was guys around my age. From guys around my age, I just jumped to it, because I never really had that, you know, care, that love. So when I did get it, I saw, oh, someone loves me, so let me just jump to it. Let me just grasp it as much as possible, because it's not something I'm used to having. So evidently by doing this, if you were affecting your dad anyhow, evidently you were affecting yourself much more. Much more. Because how did you feel living this way? I felt lonely. I remember crying myself to sleep, because even though I was getting so much attention from boys, so much attention from friends, going partying, I was doing all of these things just to fill this space that wasn't filled, to fill this grudges that I was feeling against my parents, to fill this lack of care that I felt against them. I was doing all of these things, but even though all of this was happening, I saw myself going to bed, crying myself to sleep, feeling suicidal, feeling like there's no one there for me, no one loves me, what's the point of me being on this earth? So I felt all of this big gap inside of my life that I didn't understand, really. Do you remember if there was like a worst moment or a worst day or a worst night, any particular situation that really, you know, stood out in a negative tone? Yeah, eventually I came to this country to live with my mom. And when I came to this country, obviously I thought, okay, I'm able to get reunited with my mom, because my dad was living here as well. He eventually came here as well. Get reunited with my mom, I'm able to see my dad as well. And things was okay at the start. And then that's when the grudges started building up again. When my mom used to tell me to do things, I used to disobey her. She told me, you know, not to hang around with this sort of friends. I just used to say, who are you to tell me what I should do when you was never around, kind of thing. So that's what I thought. And because of that, I became a rebellious child. I went out partying, I got involved with the wrong friends. I got involved with boys from gangs because I was looking for a protector, someone, a male figure that was a protector. And I thought guys from gangs was the best protector I could ever had. And I got involved with a guy, and he was from a gang, and he was very obsessive. Like, he was always on my case, always on my case. And I wanted to end the relationship, but he didn't want it. But when I eventually did end it, he didn't take it lightly. He started stalking me, threatened to kill me and everything. So my life was on the line at that very moment. And I remember being at home and looking at my life, and I thought, is this really what my life is? Full of grudges. Also had immigration problems as well. So my life was stuck, couldn't do anything, couldn't go to college. Like, literally had nothing. Like, my life was stuck, and someone wants to kill me. So at that point, I thought, okay, is this really what life is? No, parents are here, but I don't feel loved by them. You know, my life is on the line, someone wants to kill me, and I have immigration problems. So it was like, everywhere I turned, there was no way out. I was surrounded by problems after problems after problems.
But you were able to overcome this?
Yes, definitely.
And even to forgive them?
Definitely.
So in the next segment, Sandy's gonna tell us how she made it, but maybe you watching us, maybe you were told the same. You were told that you were a mistake, that you don't matter, no one cares, that everything you do is wrong, you feel that you're not good enough, you feel less than. So listen, the truth is that you're not a mistake. But you have to discover a different kind of attention, a different kind of love. Someone is paying attention to you. And we're gonna talk about who is this someone right after. Actually, there's two. One that can help and one that can destroy. We're gonna talk about this when we come back. We also have Christy that went around the streets of London and got some opinions on what people think about grudges. We'll be back right after this.
So, maybe you're thinking about making some big changes or setting some ambitious goals for yourself. Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds or read through the Bible. Maybe you want to run a marathon or repair a broken relationship. Whatever your big goal is, the temptation is to expect to go straight from here to here, or from here to here. The reality is, there are a lot of small steps between big decisions and big results. Challenges and obstacles await. At some point, you might even want to quit. But stand firm. Don't be disappointed with slow progress. Don't be overwhelmed by the destination. Rather, focus on what you can do today. Skip dessert. Read a chapter. Go for a run. Make a phone call. The more difficult the journey, the more rewarding the destination. And it can all start today with just one small step.
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
I know
it's Christy here on Finding Answers, and tonight's topic is grudges. When someone we love and trust commits a hurtful deed against us, is there a way that we can find forgiveness and let go of our grudges? Well, let's see what the public have to say. Is it worth holding on to grudges?
That's a tricky one. I do think that I think maybe remembering a grudge here or two can be funny used in the right situation, but I don't think holding on to grudges is a healthy thing at all. I think in order to actually, I think just sort of be, I guess, a clear-headed, level person, and to be able to approach new things in life, you kind of have to be able to get over the old. I think harboring onto the past and all bad things that have happened never really equates to a good future, so yeah.
As someone doing a master's degree in psychology, absolutely not. Sorry?
Why is that?
It's because the anxiety and stress caused by holding on to a grudge really only manifests within itself, and really just causes you more pain than it's worth at the end of the day.
No way. I think people need to be positive. Okay, people fight, we bicker, there's family disputes, there's politics. Everywhere you go, people are fighting. You know, it's in the media, it's everywhere, between friends, whatever there is. But there's always silver lining, always look at the positive stuff. And to be honest with you, don't let the bitter consume you. I honestly feel like people just smile and get over things. No, don't hold grudges.
Absolutely not, life's too short.
Very interesting to see that even from a secular point of view, it's agreed that a grudge can be something really dangerous. Dangerous, I would say, because it can cost a person their health, even their life. So if you struggle with it, you know it's bad, doing bad for you, but you can't shake it off, you can't get rid of it. Look for help. Help is available. If you would like to get our help, 0207-686-6300 is a number you can call now. Our advisors are here now and they can speak to you. Okay, you don't have to accept that this weekend that is about to start in a few minutes will just be another one, another nightmare, another turmoil. No, you can't. If you do something different, if you do something positive, expect to see positive change. Give yourself this chance. Going back to Sandy, so you were telling us that even you got involved with a dangerous gang member, all because of this grudge against your parents. Mm-hmm. How was it that things started to change?
Well, things started to change when, obviously, first of all, I realized the pit that I was actually in, and I saw that I needed help. So I was invited to a Christian place. And at first, I was a bit like, okay, how is life is going to change from here, kind of thing. Because I've heard about God. I used to go to, places before where they speak about God and everything. And I never thought God could really change my life because I thought this is my life and this is how it's meant to be. Mm-hmm. So I came to this Christian place and I was hearing testimonies of people that overcame situations similar to mine and what they did to overcome it as well. And I've realized, okay, if that was able to happen in their life, then it's possible in my life as well. So I continued coming to the different meetings that they were holding, the Sunday meetings, the Wednesday meetings, the Friday meetings. And through these meetings, I was able to realize that the grudges that I was holding on to was like a baggage, and hence why my life wasn't moving forward, but was getting worse because I was holding on to something that was keeping me back, that was keeping me back in the past, that was making me stuck, that wasn't giving me the pathway to move forward in life. So that's when I was able to realize, okay, this is a big issue, because I thought before was holding a grudge wasn't my fault. It was their fault why I'm holding a grudge. Mm-hmm. So me holding it.
Maybe you even feel, correct me if I'm wrong, you please be 100% honest about this, I know you are, that you probably even deserved to be, to hold a grudge, right? I have the right because I was a child, I was innocent, but still, it didn't do you any good.
It didn't at all.
Is there anything positive, Sandy? Anything positive? Maybe someone can think of something positive that can come from a grudge, that came from this grudge.
There was nothing positive because I remember times when I used to think of what my parents did to me and how they left me. I remember feeling angry. I remember feeling, you know, low, disappointed. So even though I held it for so long throughout my life, there was nothing positive coming out of it. Literally, there was nothing positive because my mom was moving on with her life, my dad was moving on with his life, and it was my life was there stuck because I was holding on to something that only me, myself, was suffering from. So coming to this Christian place, I was able to realize that as well, that, you know, holding a grudge against a person doesn't hurt the other person, but it's hurting me, is making my life stuck, is making my life being ruined. So that's when I was able to see that I needed to get rid of this grudge. I needed to do something about it.
So you decided to get closer to God.
Yes.
Right? Learn more about faith, be consistent in this process of learning. And as you did it, you understood it was a decision that you had,
yes,
right, to take in order to do good to yourself, because they were moving forward. As we said here in the beginning, I think on the first segment, something was mentioned about that. When we don't forgive, even the people who hurt us, they're moving on, they're going forward, and we are the ones, you know, falling back,
definitely.
Right? So how was it? How was the healing process? How did you heal from this? How did you forgive?
First of all, I have to be able to realize that I'm actually valued, because that was the main issue why I started to hold a grudge in the first place. Was I didn't feel valued, I didn't feel loved. So coming to the sessions, coming to the different meetings, and getting to know God even more, and getting to hear about God and building a personal relationship with God, I was able to realize that I am loved by God, I am valued by Him, and regardless of the hurts I went through in my life, God was always there, you know, holding His hand out for me. So for the very first time in my life, I felt really loved, I felt really cared for, and that's when I was able to grab the opportunity that was there, because as I said previously in my testimony, that the reason why I went for males was because I saw they were giving me attention, so I was grabbing that opportunity. But then now I saw that God was giving me the attention, and I saw that He was the best person to grab the opportunity from. So that's what I did. I cling on to Him. I was able to realize so much things about myself that was holding me back, and the biggest one was the grudge. So I saw that I needed to forgive my mom, to forgive my dad. And when I did that, I prayed about it. At first it was hard, because I thought, as I said, it wasn't my fault why they did what they did, so I had the right to hold a grudge. But then when I realized that me holding a grudge wasn't helping me at all, and because I built such a great relationship with God in that process, I was able to see that in order for God to forgive me from my own mistakes, because I'm full of mistakes as well, I need to forgive others. So I remember praying about it, praying about my mom, praying about my dad, and actually, you know, saying that I have forgiven them for what they've done. And when I did that prayer, it was like a weight just lifted off me. It was like I was able to see my life able to go somewhere now. It was like a barrier that was removed from my life when I did that. And I was able to see my mom and dad in a different way. I was able to see them as actual souls that actually do make mistakes, and, you know, they probably behaved the way they did because of maybe previously things like that similar happened to them as well. So I was able to see them as someone that needed help as well. So doing that, it was like my eyes was open to a whole different view.
So you said everything. You discovered a different kind of love.
Yes.
You found out someone was paying attention, God.
Definitely.
But you were not paying attention to
No.
Him. That's what I was saying in the previous segment, because I would say two are paying attention. Number one is God. God is paying attention at you, but you need to pay attention to Him too. You know, just saying, no, I believe in God, or praying occasionally, very superficial prayers. This doesn't really help you. But if you want to learn how to have a relationship with God, then you will be able to. Right? God says like this. He says in His word, return to me and I will return to you. If you decide to get closer to Him, you're going to find this love. You know, I differently from you, Sandy, I had the opportunity to have good parents. loving parents that cared and protected me, and I had a good upbringing. However, when I found out about the love of God, the love I get from Him, the attention I get from Him is way superior and better than the attention that I got from my own parents. So if you didn't have this love from your parents, from people that should have loved you and protected you, but you discover this love, I guarantee you it will make up for whatever lack of attention, love, and care that you have not received, right, in life. And the second one that is paying attention is evil. There are negative forces also paying attention. If you are going to turn to what is negative, doing things that will hurt yourself and others, clinging to your pain and feeling sorry for yourself and just pining away and wishing things would be different, then negativity, evil takes a hold of you and won't let you get up. So two are paying attention, but it's not God or evil that can decide which way you're going to go. It's you who decide which side you want to be influenced by. Do you want to be influenced by the light or by the darkness? So it depends on what you're going to do. If you're going to choose positivity, well, do what is right, get closer to God, discover the power of faith. Okay? And once again, the number appears here. If you would like to know more about this, let us help you. Of course, that our time here is limited. There are things that we won't be able to say on the program, but if you want to speak to an advisor, guarantee you that the experience will be very positive. Okay? You won't have to pay finding answers, anything. No one is selling any product here. We are here actually just to help. Okay? I want to congratulate you on this change. All right? You've moved on.
Yes.
Yes. You have a relationship with God today.
Yes.
And you no longer have this attention-seeking behavior and these wrong relationships, seeking the wrong kind of attention. No more.
No more.
Right? Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're going to go to a break. Pastor David Gomez is joining us in the next segment. You can also prepare a glass with water if you want, because towards the end of tonight's episodes, in a few minutes, we're going to be joining our faith to do a prayer on your behalf. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
DKW, a different kind of woman. So I want to find out if you might have dyslexia.
My memory's not too good today.
And it's almost like you have to be this superwoman.
Years and years ago when I watched Titanic, and obviously My Heart Will Go On came on, and it just brought me back to that time.
And I was with 4 other sisters. Lord have mercy. So you know how they work. You're not going to go over there and say nothing?
Come on, a little closer now, and let me know that you're mine. Woo!
It's going to be your turn to do your macaroons. No competition.
We're here at Britain's Top Designer 2015.
This is DKW. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Hi everyone, I'm James.
And I am Helena.
Join us here every Saturday at 3 p.m. for Love Talk,
the show that teaches you how to love intelligently.
On my channel, Sky 203.
See you there.
Love Talk on my channel, Sky 203, every Saturday, 3 p.m.
Follow my channel's updates on Facebook. Like your favorite videos and see pictures of your favorite artists. Access our Twitter @MyChannelUK and get to know what's on with my channel. Visit tvmychannel.com and be connected to our world. My Channel, a whole new world of entertainment.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. This is the last segment of tonight's show. We're going to be praying on your behalf very soon, but Pastor David is with us this evening. Good evening, Pastor David.
Good evening, Pastor Edward.
So our topic tonight, we're talking about grudges, which evidently I don't think anyone in their right mind would say, this is something that I really want to hold on to. Oh, I love to hold grudges. They want to get rid of it. But many people don't know how to do that, Pastor David. So on things we don't know how to do, that is an indication. It points out to the fact that we need God's help. We need to bring Him into our lives in order to be empowered to do things we can't do on our own.
It's like you are fighting a war that you don't know how to beat your adversary. So the first thing that you have to understand is this. Where does the grudge come from? Well, basically, you have to understand that it's a feeling, it's an emotion. It's a feeling of the heart. Your heart starts feeling something strange or awkward towards a person or towards the attitude of someone did something against you, and you keep that inside of you. So you start feeling an emotion, you start feeling a feeling inside of you that if the person doesn't know how to stop it immediately, because all of us, we can get upset very easily. It's very easy, common people to get upset. But the problem is that when you start letting that feeling of sadness, that feeling of angriness to be inside of you, then this starts creating the grudge. You start having that heart broken towards what that person did against you, or that person said, or that person attitude. And maybe sometimes the one that committed the thing, it didn't do it intentionally. But the problem, the way we look at the situation, the person starts holding this kind of emotion inside of her.
Yeah, we can even be doing injustice.
Yeah. Sometimes the person didn't do it intentionally, and we start keeping this inside of us. So many people outside, we find out that when you can't control your emotional side of life, it's very easy for you to gain access or to gain this grudge inside of you.
Pastor David, once again I have to mention here how God's Word has answers to everything. God speaks about that you're saying. He says, there is a verse there that says, get angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun set over your anger. So God never said that it's wrong to get angry. Even God gets angry. God gets angry at the injustice that He sees. God gets angry at evil, when He sees evil taking place. But there's only so much He can do if people don't get closer to Him. So God gets angry at these situations. But when He says, don't let the sun set over your anger, it's because that's a warning. A warning. If you don't get rid of your anger quickly, it's going to fester inside of you and quickly turn into grudge. So to protect ourselves from that is the advice He gives us. If you get angry, find a way to release, get rid of that anger as quick as you can. Because if you retain it, if you bottle it up, it is definitely a recipe for total disaster, because it will turn into a grudge and mess everything up.
Yeah, that's where faith comes in. That faith is the power to believe. So when you believe in God, you are trusting that His existence is there to protect you, like the testimony we had. Why did Sandy was able to overcome her problems? Because she found a faith in God that she didn't have before. And maybe this viewer is watching us right now, and maybe this person is going through the same similar problems or some equal, but you don't have the faith inside of you. But if you start believing that you can change, that you don't want to be influenced by the emotion side of you, you can get angry. No one is telling you that you shouldn't get angry. What we are telling you is that don't let that anger be overpowering you in a way that you will not eat, you will not do your things, you will not go to work, you will not be happy. Every time someone talks to the person that has a grudge, this person, feels sad all the time. Mm-hmm. It's very easy to identify someone who has a grudge. You can identify yourself very easily. For example, if you have something that you have against someone, you can be in a very nice environment. People like going, partying and all these things. They can be in a very lively place. But as soon as that person comes in, if the one that holds a grudge has something against that one, her mood changes. She becomes depressed, she isolates herself. All that happiness that she had when she was there, it's gone just because you hold something against someone. And the power of faith helps you to overcome this problem.
So if you want to use this power right now, if you are this, if you're watching here and you say, that's exactly me, because maybe the grudge has robbed you of your happiness, of good moments with friends and family, it has robbed you of your peace, maybe even robbing you of your sleep right now. You can't sleep, flipping through the channels, just trying to find something to distract your mind because it might be consuming you even at this point of time. So why not ask God to help you? Why not include God into the picture? So pray with us. We're going to pray that this wedge called grudges that is separating you from God, it's like a wedge being driven between you and God, be removed. Okay, the splinter that is hurting your soul be removed now by the power of faith, so that you can immediately have a relief. You're going to have a night of peace. Do you believe? Do you want? So stop whatever you're doing. Stop now. Pay attention. Listen. Pray with us. And you are going to see a difference right now. It's the moment of prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your family and loved ones, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Father, we come to you in prayer right now in behalf of this viewer. This person that throughout this program, she found the willingness to make a change in her life because she does not want to hold on to this grudge any longer. She knows, or he knows, that this kind of emotion or feeling inside of him or her, it's not helping them at all. It's only delaying their success, their happiness, the enjoyment of life. So I pray to you, God, that you may visit this person right now, wherever they are. And through these waters, as they will drink of the water by faith, I pray, Lord, that you may touch them, that you may heal the wound that's there deep inside their heart. This wound, my God, that doesn't want to let go of their life, and their life gets stuck in this current situation. But I pray, God, that in Jesus' name you may touch this person and you may help this viewer to overcome their problems in Jesus' name. My Lord, these waters, let it be a blessing and a power in their lives. Drink from your waters right now.
So now, what should you do? Well, believe. We've prayed. Now believe. What comes after prayer? Believe. Believe that the Spirit of God is working right now. Believe me, the Spirit of God is always willing to work in the lives of those who come to Him. So we here believe that you're going to have a nice, restful sleep tonight, and you're going to wake up tomorrow with a different mindset, a different feeling, a different atmosphere around. You're going to see things different, and you will remember that this prayer did take effect in your life, okay? It was great having you with us. Thanks for your viewership, and have a great night. Next week, we'll be right here. Same station, same time. Bye-bye.